welcome back to my channel. It's oliviasade. If you're new here, welcome. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell button just so every single time I'm posting these videos. For this video, I kind of wanted to just address some questions that you guys asked me on my Instagram story the other day. I asked you guys to just say anything or just ask me questions that you guys may have, and I'll answer them. Actually, in the post I said I might answer them, but I'm gonna answer them here, all the questions that I didn't answer and all the questions that I did, just so I can go a little bit more in depth on some of the things you guys asked me. So this is just a get to know me. Yeah, I can't wait to show y'all an updated room tour, because yes, my couch is over here now. All right, so the first question was, what inspired you to create your own brand? Honestly, the beginning of oliviasade, I just say .co because that's like the website name, and I felt like, ooh, that's pretty cute, because .com was taken. But mainly oliviasade.co came about in quarantine. It was just a really weird time, I felt, where like creatives were in their house and were having like a difficult time drawing inspiration from their surroundings. You know, that time period where we were in our houses and we really couldn't leave and there really wasn't anything to do. So I really just want people in their houses to be inspired, regardless of the situation, regardless of the pandemic, regardless of what was going around us, just to remain inspired. I kind of didn't think of making it into a brand. I just thought like, oh, I'm gonna make a puzzle set, and like it should be like a cool way for people to be engaged at home, something to do, something just to kill time with. And I wanted to include Eve and Little Kim as my first product because they are the two baddest female rappers in the game, and I felt like, why not have a magazine spread of them wearing all this iced out jewelry and just being very like them. That was inspiring for me, and yeah, I just took off from there. I felt like, okay, if I can do this, I can do so many other things. So I started jotting down ideas and stuff, and I really don't want to limit my brand. That's why my brand kind of ranges. So like, that was a puzzle set. My next thing was bamboo earrings. The next thing after that was my summer bikini capsule. That was really like the first real project I felt that I put my all into. I planned the shoot, I creative directed the concept behind it, I put together the models, and even with that, it was kind of inspiring because not everything goes as planned. Honestly, had two other models that were supposed to do that. The models that were in the photos, I love them to death. Those were not my original models at all, both of them. So the fact that nothing went as planned and it still has such a powerful impact on everybody included. This was so like loved. I loved it. So I have to thank Bonza as well, because he really captured the moment that I wanted to capture. I continued that into my next shoot, which was for my collaboration with my friend Jackie. Love that idea, and when we paired up, we had so much fun doing it together. The shoot, as you guys saw in the behind the scenes video, was amazing. The shots from that came out great. So all I want to say is, guys, take moments in time and create something beautiful out of it. Like, I never would have thought I would have created a brand out of quarantine earlier this year. Honestly, I think in January I was never even thinking about coming out with a brand. And again, like I answered in the post, I did try before when I was in college in Albany, and honestly, I think the brand just wasn't inspiring for me enough to create or just continue it, so I just ended it. And now oliviasade.co is here. Guys, follow. More things to come in the future. So the next question is, how long have you been into fashion? It's all I ever wanted to do. It's pretty weird because when you guys hear that I went to Albany, it's kind of like, what does that have to do with fashion? Originally I applied to LIM and I did get accepted, but it was just too expensive. It was kind of like private school money, and I was just like, I just couldn't go. So I decided, okay, I really want the dorming experience, and I felt like, okay, I could really major in business when I'm in Albany. So I went to Albany, and it just was not for me. You know what, that's for one of these questions. But anyway, I've been into fashion for as long as I can remember. I took sewing classes in high school. I remember my mom putting me in so much sewing classes. Truthfully, it's always been something I wanted to do and something I always saw myself doing. I really couldn't picture anything else. The next question is, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go and why? If I could go anywhere in the world, I would go to Japan. Japan has just always been on my bucket list because of its own fashion. Again, like when I'm on Pinterest, I always see like Japanese fashion, and not even today's fashion, because you know they could still dress, you know they be dressing it down, but like even 90s fashion was so like out there and kind of on some Lady Gaga shit, like the huge platforms, just the funky hairstyles, all that shit. Like I love. I want to go to Tokyo. I want to look at all the lights. I just love it. All right, you seem chill. XD, what's your kick? Bro, y'all know that tweet where it's like when you was going through some shit on Kick, you had to black out your your little profile picture, put a dot. Someone said it's no stopping you. Next up, love. Honestly, guys, when I get these comments that you guys are saying like, I believe in you, you motivate me, da 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 da, like I just feel like, oh my gosh, like I'm overwhelmed because it feels like, damn, sometimes I'm like, am I doing the right thing? Like, am I where I really want to be? And then you guys are like, girl, we see shit happening for you, like things are happening, don't even worry. And it's just like, wow, like I just be touched, and I want to thank you guys. The next question is, what would you say your aesthetic is? It's always confusing when I get this question because I don't really know what to say. Like, I feel like my style kind of ranges and jumps. Like one day I can really look really cute and sweet, and then other days I have a different hairstyle, I'm really dark. Like it's just a whole different range. So honestly, if you guys want a style video on how I explain my closet, my style, how I look for inspiration, just comment down below. I did one earlier in the year. I can always do an updated one because I feel like I've changed in the matter of like what, 9 months. My aesthetic, honestly, I think most people would classify me into streetwear because I do really dress down a lot. I wear a lot of sneakers. You don't really see me wearing heels or very tight fitted clothing, you know what I mean? Like I really dress really I would say I really dress comfortable and relaxed. How did you get to the point where you didn't care what people thought on your style? Going to go back, I felt like I was always dressing weird. In high school, I wore these like boots that I loved. I actually loved these boots, and I wore them with like a black silk jacket, and people would make comments about me. I'm not gonna lie. There used to be like this girl in my English class, some irrelevant girl, and she'd just be like, girl, you look like so dark, like you're so goth. And it's like, bitch, that's just how I'm feeling today. Can I just feel like that today? Like, why do you have to classify me as that? So I feel like I really was dressing weird, to me, I'll call it weird, ever since high school. And past that, you cannot care what people say. I promise you, this is your life. Like I was talking to Ism once, and he was just like, bro, this is your world. Like this right here, we're living in your world. And he's right. Like this is my world. I'm going to be happy. I'm gonna dress how I want. And honestly, guys, don't be afraid to dress how you guys want, or embrace your aesthetic, or embrace your style, and do what you truly want to do, because honestly, life is short. You cannot walk around here upset and not doing shit because of what other people think. Dress how you want, and that's how I go about things. I really try to like embrace myself, like truly. Someone said, are you in school, and if so, what do you study? This is a good question because I love to address this. My college journey has truthfully been a roller coaster. So I'm gonna go back a little and then just tell you about my experiences and stuff like that, and then why I am here today. So after like ultimately going to Albany, I did make a lot of good friends there. I did meet them there. I met Narita there. I met like a whole bunch of friends that like I truly do love. Like I'm gonna show you all my memories. You know, I gotta dig into Snapchat for these, cause girl. And yeah, I will say Albany was great to me in that experience of the college life, the dorming. I really just networked with friends, and I I'm still friends with them to this day. So I really had to sit down with myself and say, for this amount of money, like, is it worth it? Like, am I happy here with my studies? And truthfully, I was not. Like, I wasn't doing anything related to fashion. It was business, but it was kind of more of like stocks and Wall Street business, and that was not anywhere where I wanted to be. I decided to go to a community college nearby where I had a fashion major. So after I came back, I went to a community college, and honestly, it was not the worst experience in the world. I know the stigma against community is pretty like, I think that's exactly why I rejected it the first time. But when I went back, I kind of felt like I learned a lot from the classes that I was taking. The only downfall was that I was spending so much money on supplies. Like, I'm not good under the pressure of like, you know, you have to remember this, you have to remember that. Like, I'm like smart, but I'm not like good under the structure of school. And if for anybody asking like, oh, why don't you go to FIT, I did apply twice. I didn't get in, so there was that. So don't ever get discouraged when you get rejected from college, or if you're just not going, because there's a lot of shit going on. The next question is, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? I find myself traveling, definitely, expanding my business to the point where it's like, it's a stamp. I really just want to have impact with the brand, and I just want people to be inspired by what I put out. Honestly, I can't really predict because I'm not really a future person. Like, it's just like very nerve-wracking. But truthfully, like, I just want to live truthfully and be happy and be successful in what I do and just do the things that I love. So we're down to the last 2 questions, and someone asked self-love advice. It's very big because I feel like I've had a lot of insecurities in high school that I'm just starting to embrace now. Like, I really was very insecure about my teeth, my hair, like my look overall. And honestly, now, like, I'm really starting to embrace myself. I'm really starting to like love the person that I am. And my advice would be, sit down with yourself and write the things that you love, and then also write the things that bother you, because you acknowledging your insecurities and finding the beauty in them is what helps. Always surround yourself with friends and people and thoughts that are positive and that are here for you and that are rooting for you. Because when you surround yourself with that, all you can think about is that, especially about yourself. And the last question is, what made you want to start dressing different? Just a lot of things that I wear because I like it. Like, if I saw a 10-inch platform that I like, I'm gonna wear it. Like, there's just some things that like are pieces that I just would love to wear. I don't know, like I said before, I've been dressing different for a minute, like really different. And back then it probably wasn't like different like, oh, she's, but it's kind of like, oh, what's she wearing? Now I just do what I want, especially with my clothes. Nobody can tell me how to dress ever, you know. But not even a relationship. I had a relationship where they were trying to control how I dress. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and asking these questions and just getting to know me better. Again, if you have any more questions, just put them down below and I'll get back to you guys. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell button just to know every single time I'm posting these videos, and much more content on the way. I got the consistency thing going. You see it. So yeah, it's your girl Liv, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.